Let's take a look at 8 U.S. Code Section 1103. This is the powers and duties of the Secretary, the Undersecretary, and the Attorney General. We are talking specifically about immigration. So federal immigration is going to be found in lots of different places, but where we're at is Title 8. We're in Chapter 12, and we're in the subchapter here, number 1, and we're at 1103. Let's take a look real quick. We're starting with the Secretary of Homeland Security. The Secretary of Homeland Security shall be charged with the administration and enforcement of this chapter and all other laws relating to the immigration and naturalization of aliens, except insofar as this chapter or such laws relate to the powers, functions, and duties conferred upon the President, Attorney General, the Secretary of State, the officers of the Department of State, or diplomatic or consular offices. Provided, however, that the determination and ruling by the Attorney General with respect to all questions of law shall be controlling. 2, he shall have control, direction, and supervision of all employees and of all the files and records of the service. 3, he shall establish such regulations, prescribe such forms of bond, reports, entries, and other papers, issue such instructions, and perform such other acts as he deems necessary for carrying out his authority under the provisions of this chapter. Number 4, he may require or authorize any employee of the service or the Department of Justice to perform or exercise any of the powers, privileges, or duties conferred or imposed by this chapter or regulation issued thereunder upon any other employee of the service. Number 5, he shall have power and duty to control and guard the boundaries and borders of the United States against the illegal entry of aliens, and shall in his discretion appoint for that purpose such number of employees of the service as to him shall appear necessary and proper. Number 6, he's authorized to confer or impose upon any employee of the United States, with the consent of the head of the department or other independent establishment under whose jurisdiction the employee is serving, any of the powers, privileges, or duties conferred or imposed by this chapter or regulations issued thereunder upon officers or employees of the service. Number 7, he may, with the concurrence of the Secretary of State, establish offices of the service in foreign countries, and after consultation with the Secretary of State, he may, whenever in his judgment such action may be necessary to accomplish the purpose of this chapter, detail in duty in foreign countries. 8, after consultation with the Secretary of State, the Attorney General may authorize officers of a foreign country to be stationed at pre-clearance facilities in the United States for the purpose of ensuring that persons traveling from or through the United States to that foreign country comply with that country's immigration and related laws. Number 9, those officers may exercise such authority and perform such duties as the United States immigration officers are authorized to exercise and perform in that foreign country under reciprocal agreement, and they shall enjoy such reasonable privilege and immunities necessary for the performance of duties of the government of their country extends to the United States immigration officers. Number 10, in the event the Attorney General determines that an actual or imminent mass influx of aliens arriving off the coast of the United States or near a land border presents urgent circumstances requiring an immediate federal response, the Attorney General may authorize any state or local law enforcement officer, with the consent of the head of the department, agency, or establishment under whose jurisdiction the individual is serving, to perform or any of the powers, privileges, or duties conferred or imposed by this chapter or regulations issued thereunder upon officers and employees of the service. Number 11, the Attorney General, in support of persons in the administrative detention and non-federal institutions, is authorized, A, to make payments from funds appropriated by the administration and enforcement of the laws relating to immigration, naturalization, and alien registration for necessary clothing, medical care, necessary guard hire, and the housing, care, and security of persons detained by the service pursuant to federal law under an agreement with a state or political subdivision of a state, and B, to enter into a cooperative agreement with any state, territory, or political subdivision thereof for the necessary construction, physical renovation, acquisition of equipment, supplies, or materials required to establish acceptable conditions of confinement and detention services in any state or unit of local government which agrees to provide guaranteed bed space for persons detained by the service. That's a lot. That's a lot to give you an idea of the amount of power here that these secretaries have. Here's sub B when they're talking about land acquisition authority. And so you can go through here. That's not my primary focus. To go on, we've got subsection C, the commissioner and the appointment. We have D, statistical information system. So that's set out here, annual report that has to be done and filed. Next, we have minimum number of agents in states. Then we have the Attorney General here. All right, so the AG. The AG shall have such authorities and functions under this chapter and all other laws relating to the immigration and naturalization of aliens as were exercised by the Executive Office for Immigration Review or by the Attorney General with respect to the Executive Office for Immigration Review on the day before the effective date of the Immigration Reform, Accountability, and Security Enhancement Act of 2002. Powers. The Attorney General shall establish such regulations, prescribe such forms of bond, reports, entries, and other papers, issue such instructions, review such administrative determinations in immigration proceedings, delegate such authority, and perform such other acts as the Attorney General determines to be necessary for carrying out this section. That's it. Again, this is section 1103 of Title 8, Chapter 12 regarding our immigration laws. This is a federal statute. And I hope everybody notices the extremely broad definition of the jobs here. It looks like the discretion of the Attorney General and the Department of Homeland Security Secretary. They've got some genie powers in here. They've got the ability to do actually a lot of damage. And why? It's because Congress wrote this law this way. So if we want to kind of pull them back, everyone, you're going to need to talk to your congressional people because, wow, that's a lot of power to two people off of the cabinet.